Dookie. Let's go. Where are we? Chapter 7.1. 7.1. You guys can read all this good stuff here. This is all stuff that is good to know. I'm just gonna tag off the top of it. We need to install LFS boot scripts. So cd into $LFS sources, and I want to tar xvf LFS boot scripts. Okay, and I think I can make install. Just make cd into LFS boot scripts and make install. And they're just like actually Etsy, I think network is, maybe it's not now. Kill and start and stop scripts, start and kill scripts. Okay. All kind of other stuff in here. syslog, start stops, udev, all that stuff. Okay, let's see. The good thing about viewing this in links, the stuff that you really need to do pops out at you. A lot of this other stuff is documentation, which is always good to read. But if you're kind of familiar with it, and you really don't need to read it. Creating custom udev rules. I'm not going to do any. Well, maybe I should. Persistent net rules. Script has been included to generate the initial rules. Generate these rules. Did I do this? Udev init rules.sh. Cat out Etsy udev rules. The 70 persistent net rules. Okay. This is my this would be, you need to do this. Reason being is this names your devices on your computer, such as Etho and Wylino. Okay, so if you want internet, that's what it is. Use your MAC address for that device. Blah blah blah. Okay, that's done. CD-ROM, Symlinks. Not really worried about that. Stuff in here for this here said statement here is CD-ROM rules. I'm not worried about it. I only have one CD device. We have more than that, but that's all secondary, really. Just I just want to get this machine up and booted. I'll go back and get that later. Dealing with duplicate devices. Same here. Duplicate dev rules. I usually do that later. It's up to you guys. Create sample file, static IPs. Okay, this is for your to bring up your device. Okay, and I mean device as in Wylino. Actually, I have to. Let's say Vim. Vim Etsy sysconfig. Slash, or sorry, oops, cd into that. Okay, and we can say cat into ifconfig config.etho, cat into that. This is for your Ethernet Etho device, Ethernet hardwire. Okay, and you would set something like on boot interface service and all that stuff like that. This brings up your gateway and your broadcast domain prefix, all that other stuff like that. Well, that's okay, but I'm just going to comment this out, okay? Because I'm not really not worried about that. I can do that later. Okay. And let's see. My Etsy resolve. Same. Actually, I'm just going to echo into it. Echo. Do this into Etsy resolve .config. Okay. It's your domain name if you have a domain name, name server and all that other stuff like that. It's not really a complicated thing. Just create the Etsy host name. I'm going to echo in here my host name. What do I want it to be? Dougie into Etsy host name. Okay. This will show up as when you log in, who you want to log in as, or not who you want to log in as, but you log in. Etsy host. Okay. Etsy host name. Etsy host file for your local hosts. I say do this. Local host, and you need to add your IP here for your device. It's 192.168. Say 1.2 or 1.100 or 1.200. Okay. That's okay. It's all internet stuff. This is good reading. Let's see, Etsy init tab. Vi Etsy init tab. This is very important. So we'll do this. As you see here, I'm going to use Vi on this one. Okay. So let's say gain. Alright, can't see anything because, you know, it's blue right quick. Alright, so let me see. You can change the, let me say cat user share Vim. You can change the colors of Vim. If you go to colors, these are all colors in here you can change it to. Default, I guess it's blue, or whatever the default is. Let's see what the default is. It's more like blue. Obviously, because I can't see it. I'm going to change it to desert. Okay. So, I can say something like, Vim or Vi Etsy init tab. Okay, now I can't see anything. I could say colon desert. No, what's the syntax? Color desert. Yeah, there we go. Okay, you can barely see it now, but that's better than it was. Init. See, it's very terrible, actually. Not like that at all. Let's see. We got desert, dark blue, alpha morning, bright one. Do morning with Pablo. Let's say Vim etc init tab. Color. I'll tell you one thing, it's not the worst, at least I can see it. Okay. Init 3. Init default. This is your default run level that you want to run to. Init 3 is no X. Init 4 would started GUI or X. 1, 2. 1 is start, but nothing's really going. Alright, like this. 0 is shutdown. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. 0 is shutdown. 1 is start. 2 is start with services. 3 is start like in TTYs. Okay, so you don't start in with a GUI. 4 is GUI. So if you hit init level 4, you're running GUI like on mainstream distros. 5 is, you can't start in 5, but it's the same as 3, I believe. And 6 is kill. Okay, so that's your shutdown levels. Alright, 0 and 6 is your shutdowns. So you can't run 0 and 6. And you really don't have to pick this. It's either 3 or 4. 3 is start without a GUI. 4 is start with a GUI, but you can still drop down. So sys init etc rc.d init.d rc space s. Okay, and here you go. See, you got 10 0, which is your wait etc rc.d init.d rc0. Okay. If I copy this out, I'm gonna say 1 2 3 4 5 6 counts as 7. Okay, run level 0, and we got and this, I'm going to say S1, start 1, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, run level 6, this is 6, 5, 4. Okay. There we go. Signifies all the run levels. And then you got control for 5. Control Alt delete is sbin shut down. Time 1 AR now. Okay. So S is it 0? Yes, it is 0. Duh. Because if it was O, then you're wide. 0. Oh god. Okay. S16 wants sbin su log in. Okay, and this one we'll do now these are all your TTYs. By default you get like 6 TTYs, okay? Now what is default? That's a good question. Default is relative to the OS you're using, I guess. But SBIN, a Getty, no clear option is not going to clear the screen after it spawns the TTY. And this is baud rate 9600. Now, I'm going to copy that. Paste. For time purposes, I'm only going to do 2 TTYs. Okay? And you can get to your TTYs with F1 through 6. Okay? But like on my LFS 7.3, I wanted like 9 TTYs on that. And I'm a workspace whore, and so I'm the same as with my TTYs. I just like having a lot of TTYs. But anyway, I'm just like, I only use 2 because I use screen. I only use about 2 or 3, so 3's okay. Okay, so it's Getty. And then what's the end? Yep, that's typo. But if you want 6 TTYs, run 6 of them. If you want 9 of them, okay. However many F keys you can hit, so 9, 2. Don't do just 1, I would do 2 as a minimum. Okay. I'm looking for anything that might be out of place. All these run levels that you cannot, don't screw with them. Put that as you want to in the book. And let's see. Because you need 6 run levels to hit. Everything else is going to expect you to run 6 run levels. Okay. Okay, good deal. Right quick. Okay. Changing run levels. This is more about run levels here. Okay. Start and stop run levels, reload status. YouTube boot scripts. Gotta configure the clock. Let's see here. By Etsy sysconfig clock. Let's see. Color. Let's see. Begin. UTC equals 1. Clock. Parameters. Nothing. UTC, if you want UTC time on or off, I'll turn it off. UTC is actually a pain, but as you can see, it doesn't really matter. Well, you can't really tell, but this is set to UTC, and if I have a machine with UTC on it, it's all spawned from Slackware. I screwed up setting that up. So it has UTC on it. So all my other machines might not be UTC, okay? But if I SSH into my Slackware machine, which is UTC, it'll set my clock. So it's a pain in the butt. But once you get one all screwed up, it's like they all are screwed up. So the key would be to reset the machine with UTC, set it not to UTC, and then reset the rest of your stuff just by the date command. But it's not that easy in Slackware to set UTC after you install it. It probably is, but I can't figure it out yet. It's not really that big of a deal to me. Alright, this here. Configuring the Linux console. I'm using English. And if you're using English, you can skip all this here. Okay? It's all key maps. English is okay. So I don't need to set that. Creating files at boot. That RC site. Alright, RC site. Guys, read about RC Site. It's not mandatory to do that, and I'm not going to. Okay. It's just a script here. You copy and paste that. That's about the only thing I would do. Bash startup files. Not here, not here. Okay. Now. I'm not even going to kid you a little bit. I forget. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to SSH. Actually, let me see what else I got. I'm going to SSH into the host machine I have that I'm on. On the other side, there's LFS 7.3. I need to look at something there. TPULN less connected SSH. Can I say sharp or A? Trying to find the IP address of the machine I'm connected to. Did I forget? Oh, 104. There it is, right there. Okay. So let's say SSH into Doug at 192.168.2.104. I'm SSHing into the same machine, but I got everything over there loaded, environment variables and everything, so I'm just creating another session. And I need to look at my LFS 7.3 to see exactly what I did here. Let's call it I gotta make a mount point. Because I don't want to mount it to my mount folder because LFS is mounted to it. And I could do it with something else underneath there, but I'm not going to. I'll just mount it right here. Mount those type ext3 dev sda 7 to this. Okay. CD this. And what else? Let's see, where am I at? Alright, you guys can go through this whole thing. I'll see y'all. And test out all this, your locale language, your char map, your int currency symbol, and your int prefix, okay? And I forgot, it's Etsy profile. I forgot what it is, so I say cat Etsy, not root Etsy, but my mounted Etsy profile. This. Okay, this is what I'm looking for here. Export language equals US English ISO 88591. I made this here. It's a custom system-wide prompt. It's not big, really. Just changes my PS1 prompt color. Actually, it shows changes the color to red, I think. It shows the output of who am I, or what user I'm logged in as. Or is it white? I think it changes, I don't know. Changes to white, maybe. Who am I, my TTY number, and my present working directory. Yeah. Okay, but I don't need all that. Yeah, I don't need all that. So I'm just going to add, as in the book here it says export language. So I'm using English, so I'm just going to say cat Etsy profile. I need to create it here. Cat into Etsy profile. EOF. I want to say begin export language equals English US ISO 88 ISO like Oscar ISO 8859-1. I think that's all that is all I did. Okay. And I'll just tag down here to the end. And EOF. Okay. Alright. CD back up. You can say sudo umount for both. This. Alright. I can say exit that, exit. Okay. That's your profile right there. Import RC file. Import RC file is very important too. Say cat into Etsy input RC file. Okay. Begin. Set horizontal scroll mode off. Actually, EOF. I'm gonna do violence by Etsy input RC. Then let's change our colors again. Color warning. Set horizontal scroll mode off. I'm not going to throw in these tags here. Set meta flag on. Set input meta on. Set convert meta off. Keep or set output meta on. Set bell style none. Okay. And I'm gonna say escape out E O as number O delta. Is it number O? I don't know. I really don't know. That's what I can do. Let's say Control A, Control X. That'll pop it up behind this. And I'll line these up. I can't tell if it's O or D, and I really forget. It's one of the things. It's been a long day. It's always a long day. That color change is really freaking me out now. Let's say EOD, and I can say, I know I need backward word. So I'm going to copy this out. Say 1, 2, EOF, EOC. EOC forward, I think it is. Forward. Backward word forward. EOC, EOC. I think it's O, like Oscar. I really forget. Oh. Yeah, it's definitely Oscar. You see how that switches up. If anybody ever gets thrown off as far as O or 0, some fonts are actually, I mean, when they have a 0, they have a little dot in the middle of it. These ones don't, and it's kind of hard. You know, sometimes you rely on that little dot in the middle of your 0 and you forget. But if you ever get into a bind like that, it's a good technique just to overlay it. You know, throw your window behind it and overlay it. That's what I did. Okay, so let's see, Control A, split this in half. If you're using screen, I hope you're using screen all the way this far. Control A, Shift S is to split. Exit, Control A, and I'll just bring my other window up there. Okay, EOC, forward word, backward word. Okay. Now I did all that, let me shorten this up. D. And what do we have here? Okay, we can say E. 1 tilde pop out here. Beginning of line. Copy this. Paste. Beginning of line. Is end of line. Copy this again. Actually, it's already copied, so I can just paste this shit. No, I can't. Say copy this. Paste. This should be beginning. Just 5. Beginning of history. Okay. I can copy this out. Copy and just DD. DD is actually delete, but it's still in your buffer, so you can hit DDP for paste. With DD to delete it, P for paste. But you have to alternate the modes you're in. If you guys really don't understand Vim. It can be a little complicated, but if you go through the Vim tutorial, it'll actually be a lot better. The Vim tutorial that's actually supplied with Vim. Okay. End of history was C. Delete char. Paste it. 2. Actually left out something there. If you go through the Vim tutorial, and you know, I finger banged around with Vim for forever, and like, you know, I'd always screw it up, and I was like, you know, nothing ever, it was hit or miss with me. But then I actually took the quoted insert. Actually did the tutorial in there, and it's only like maybe 15-20 minutes. You don't have to do it all, but you know, just even do enough to get by around it and everything, and it's actually a good. I love Vim. And two, if anybody's got any issues or whatever, I got a tutorial up enough to get by with Vi, and you can look at that if you want to. Just shows the simple stuff. E, Oscar, H. But it's useful. It's not like nano or anything. I mean, like, you don't have to download it anywhere. You know, it's really powerful. There's a lot of stuff that you can do with it. It's not ungodly weird like Emacs. And it's stock on like everything. Even this is going to be the minimal distro. I mean, gonna be chewing up 40 megabytes of memory, and it has an editor on it. On that editor, you're okay. P for paste, and I need to add something down here. Okay. Beginning of line. Copy this out. We'll say that. One more, please. Thank you. F. End of line. End. Okay, so I don't need to do EOF because you know we're in an editor. That's cool. That's cool. Its input RC is done. Introduction. Okay, now we've got to make the F stab. So first, let's say something like cat into etc F stab. Okay, file system table. EOF. And I'm only gonna do this for get some completion out. Begin. See, I don't like to throw begin on this one. F stab looks better without begin. File. System. I actually do this with Vim a lot, but I'm going to do that part with Vim. I should do this with Vim all the way, but that's okay. Let's see. As you get some command completion out of dev, your device that you have your LFS mounted on, which in my case would be SDA, dev SDA 9, okay? Root. Let me see. If you have a swap partition set up, okay? I have a swap partition set up, but I'm not going to use it. There's swap. Let's say proc. It's actually a shitty way to do this, I think. Yeah, I'm always better used to doing Vi with this EOF. I was trying something new. Sorry. Vi or Vim. Etsy F stab. Vim is actually a link to Vi. Because we made it like that when I set it up. Let's say color. Okay. Let me straighten this up here. I try to get some command completion out of it, but you know it's not even worth it. Just tab. I'll just tab off of this. Actually, 2 tabs. Mount. Point. Type. 2 tabs. Options. Dump order in your file system. Check order. Okay. And that's commented out, so we can put order down here. And then we delete some of this stuff here. Okay. File system is on FDA or SDA 9. This is going to be my mount point. Type is ext3. That's what I formatted it to be. Options are default. Okay. Dump order is 1-1. That's going to be a check order. No swap. I'll just tab this over. Mount point is going to be on proc. Type is proc. Okay. Proc no sudo id no exec executable is no device dump order 0 check orders. Keep dookie me. Alright, so now we can just copy this out a little bit. Proc change this to sys fs. Sys fs. Okay. And let's see. Dev PTS. Dev PTS. Dev PTS. Group ID equals 5. Mode equals 620. TempFS @1. TempFS defaults 0, 0. Dev TempFS. Dev TempFS mode equals 0755. No pseudo ID. Check word. Okay, let's see if stab is done. Right. Quit. Alright. You guys can read more about that. Alright, time for the kernel. So let's say, seeding into LFS sources, tar xvf, Linux 3.16.2. We'll let this extract, cut the video, we'll come back, we'll configure the kernel, and we'll go let that burn off, and we'll hope for the best. Okay, I'll catch you.